This is the thing that I don't quite understand. Election was on Tuesday. You look at polling data, 70% of Americans say the country is going in the wrong direction. If you look at the economic numbers, you look at the jobs report, you look at the stock market, you look at wages going up. And the White House Democrats, to me, have a narrative problem. And frankly, I think they're not flooding the zone, Ray. Here you have an African-American woman, brilliant economist. Why in the heck aren't they putting her everywhere? Look, after today's report, the Commerce Secretary should have been out there. The White House Chief of Staff should have been out there. Cecilia Rouse should have been out there. I sent the White House an email requesting her. That's how that actually happened. It wasn't like she was being offered up. They should be flooding the zone, putting their people everywhere. We dealt with 4 years of Donald Trump and his folks lying. Hey, Biden, Harris, y'all got the truth. Say something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to follow up on that with. I think that you're absolutely correct about the need to get the message out there in the narrative. One of the things that's important that for the people need to pay attention to, though, is that when there are Americans talking about the country is moving in the wrong direction, they are not making an honest, faith-based argument. The conversation that those folks are having is that they feel like people not like them, Black people, women, people from the LGBTQI community, all those folks, we're talking about those folks, and they think that those folks are getting too much in this society, too much in their economy. But an economist that I know that all of your panelists and you are familiar with, Roland, Dr. Bill Spriggs, talks about the fact that for Black men, the unemployment rate went up. Now, he says it goes up for good reasons because we're talking about more Black men are participating into the labor force. But for high school educated white men, the unemployment rate went down. And so, again, the question is, even if they flood the market or flood the media landscape with folks who will tell the truth, the folks that they're trying to persuade or talking to or trying to counteract the narrative against are not dealing honestly. So truth in the matter of dishonesty cannot matter. And so the only goal that they can have at that point would be to drown out the dishonesty they would hope with more truth. But at that point, it just becomes the fuel to the fire for the adversaries they're looking to work against.
I just don't understand, Kelly, how Democrats are losing this argument on the economy. If you really want to break down, when did President Joe Biden's approval numbers start going down? With his Afghanistan decision. Okay. In fact, just so I need people to understand how this thing has shifted. When we talk about the economy now, what happened was you had a couple of bad jobs reports in August and September. But guess what, Kelly? The initial numbers were not correct. The numbers were adjusted upward because what happens when they have the initial report, they then go back and they go, okay, let's now examine this. And so here's the deal. The initial August jobs report showed 235,000 jobs. All of a sudden, folks were coming down on the White House, and it's like, oh, my God, the sky's falling. Well, guess what? It was then adjusted where actually 483,000 jobs were created. That's 250,000 more. Then in September, that jobs report initially said 194,000 jobs. Then it was adjusted upward to 312,000. Every single month in 2021, there have been revisions of the jobs report upward of 100,000 jobs per month. Well, the revised numbers don't get as much attention. If you're the White House, your job is to put the attention on the revised numbers. I believe what you're seeing is a communications failure of this White House. In fact, Stuart Stevens, a Republican who was with the Lincoln Project, I want to pull up a tweet that he sent out today that I think fully explains it. Let me find it right here. It came up this morning when the jobs report numbers came out. I saw it, I retweeted it because he was absolutely right. This is what, let's see here, give me a second here. I'm going to pull up in a second. Let me just blow it up, folks, so don't put it on my iPad just yet. This is what he tweeted this morning. And again, Republicans know how to message. Dow is over 36,000 points. Y'all go to my iPad now. Unemployment has dropped from 6.3% in January to 4.8%. Over 5 million jobs added, a record. 220 million vaccines in 10 months. Only 30% of the country think the U.S. is on the right track. The Democratic Party has a huge messaging problem. That's from a Republican, and they know how to message.
They do know how to message. And the reason why they know how to message is because they don't work in silos within their party. With the Democrats, they have this tendency, especially in the past 4 years under Trump, to have this victimhood mentality because, frankly, it worked for them. It's like, oh, see what Trump did. It's, big bad dude. And, look at how he's hurting us. We can't do anything because Trump is X, Trump is Z, what have you. Well, the Democrats need to get out of that victimhood mentality right now because we are the ones in power. Democrats and progressives are the ones in power and have the power to get things done. But now you have the narrative of the big tent that is so big that you have to work in silos in order to get anything done. It is very fragmented, but that is not how things move. The Republicans, and you see this by way of the Lincoln Project and other organizations that are conservative. There are many opinions within the Republican Party, but what they do very well is, frankly, ignore the voices that they don't want to drive forward. Democrats don't do that. They just let everything out there, and whatever sticks is what they go with, as opposed to actually messaging what is going on and what they want to drive forward. The White House has one message regarding jobs. Congress has another message regarding infrastructure and how nobody's getting along. Even the Supreme Court justices have their own message, basically forewarning us that, hey, we may not be able to get what we want as progressive this time around because we have a majority of conservatives who don't know anything. And it's like no one is actually bringing in the reins for all of these messages and actually focusing on one thing. Republicans do that very well. Democrats and progressives, not so much. And they really need to get on the ball if they don't want to lose even more seats come 2022 and even elections beyond that.
I don't understand, Michael. It's not actually that hard. It's really not. But the thing is, you have to be willing to actually flood the zone. You have to be willing to put out memes and things along those lines. Look, I've been tweeting all today trying to figure out, I'm sorry, Jamie Harris and the Democrats, where are your viral videos? Where are they?
Right.
I went to their pages and they don't exist. They don't exist. And so I don't understand what they're doing. I'm sitting here looking on social media and I'm going, all right, I don't see any videos driving the issue of the economy. And I'm going, oh, so y'all just going to just let it flow? I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Well, Roland, this is related to why Governor Terry McAuliffe lost. Former Governor Terry McAuliffe, why he lost in Virginia. Back on Friday, October 15th, I was on your show along with Kelly 3 weeks ago, and we talked about the governor's race. We talked about how, and one of the things I said was they should be running on the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan that has cut child poverty in half, that had money for HBCUs, are taking money. Over 20 HBCUs use money from the American Rescue Plan and paid off student debt. You had another round of stimulus checks. You had PPP money for businesses. There was money for schools, so schools can get better ventilation, so schools can reopen. That was a transformative bill. Okay, Terry McAuliffe said he was putting pressure on the White House and Congress to pass the infrastructure bill so he can run on that. But you got a $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan that no Republicans in the House or the Senate voted for. You should have been hammering the hell out of them on that. But see, so it's a huge messaging problem. Okay, maybe they need to get more brothers like, maybe they need to get more signals working for them or something like Ray and myself. I don't know. But, it's a huge messaging problem. It's a huge messaging problem. So, and then when we look here at We look at the human infrastructure bill, okay? Instead of, and many people have been saying, well, look, instead of you keep talking about how much it is, why don't you talk about and educate people on what's in the bill? Lastly, Roland, another huge messaging problem. The American Rescue Plan was the third coronavirus bill, okay? It was passed in early March 2021, less than 2 months after Benedict Donald was evicted from the White House, okay? A lot of people don't associate this bill with Democrats because there were other coronavirus bills. His bill extended the federal unemployment insurance for a number of months. It reduced it down to $300 a month thanks to Joe Manchin, but they still got it. They still got $1,200 a month. You have to brand this. You have to own it. No Republicans in the House or Senate voted for this bill, so you have to separate this from what was done under Trump to let people know this is why you're getting the deposits in your bank account each month and cutting childhood poverty in half. This is why there's money for HBCUs. You have to brand this, and there's a huge messaging issue.
Yep, that's exactly that. And so I don't understand it, but guess what? They better focus on it, because if they don't change their messaging, it's gonna be a wipeout in the 2022 midterm election. Folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Betty is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon. So now, she's free to become Bear Hug Betty. Settle in, kids. You'll be there a while. Ooh, where you going?
Time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way.
Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared. You dig?